Ever wonder what women really notice the moment you walk in the room? It's not your car, your wallet, or even your looks. Today, we're breaking down 8 things women pick up on instantly, that most men never think about. Subscribe now for real-world tips no one's telling you, and let's get into it. 1. Shoes reflect your standards. Your shoes do more than protect your feet, they speak volumes about your self-respect. Many men underestimate this, thinking that as long as their shoes are fine, they're good to go. But women notice shoes instantly. Scuffed leather, worn-out soles, or dirty sneakers may seem trivial, but they send a subtle signal: I don't care about details. A man who takes time to polish his shoes, keep them clean, or choose a style that fits the occasion, be it boots, brogues, or loafers, communicates quiet strength and dignity. He doesn't need to flaunt wealth, only consistency. Women, especially those with a traditional sense of class, pick up on these details without a second thought. Your shoes tell her what kind of man you are before you ever say a word. Are you thoughtful or careless? Are you intentional or reactive? In a world obsessed with trends, quality shoes grounded in timeless style, leather, neutral tones, polished finishes, always stand out. They're not loud, but they whisper man of substance. So next time you're heading out, look down. Are your shoes an afterthought, or are they part of a standard you hold yourself to? A small detail, but for her, it might be the first impression that sticks. 2. Posture shows inner confidence. Before a single word leaves your lips, your posture tells a story. A man who walks tall with his shoulders relaxed and his head held high naturally commands respect, not because he's demanding it, but because he's earned it through presence. Posture isn't just physical, it's psychological. Slouched shoulders suggest insecurity, laziness, or passivity. Good posture, whether standing or sitting, shows a man in control of himself. It signals discipline, respect for space, and readiness to face the world head-on. Women notice this instantly. They're naturally drawn to confidence, not arrogance. And confidence begins not with talk, but with how you hold yourself in silence. Your posture also affects how you feel. If you've spent years hunched over phones and laptops, start small. When you walk into a room, roll your shoulders back, lift your chin slightly, and take purposeful steps. You don't need to puff out your chest, just be aware of your body's message, because whether you realize it or not, she already is. 3. Hands speak of habits. Hands may not seem important to most men, but to a woman, they're a window into your habits. Clean nails, moisturized skin, trimmed cuticles, and tidy fingers say far more than jewelry or hand tattoos ever could, whether you're shaking her hand, gesturing during conversation, or simply reaching for your drink. Your hands are in plain view. Dirty fingernails or dry, cracked skin might seem insignificant, but they give the impression of someone careless with himself, and potentially with others. A working man doesn't need soft hands, but even calloused hands can be clean and well kept. There's a difference between rugged and neglected. Women are wired to notice these signs. The takeaway? Groom your hands like you'd groom your words, with care and purpose. Keep your nails trimmed. Wash up properly. Use lotion if your skin gets rough. These small acts build discipline and signal. 4. Scent creates lasting memory. Your scent is a silent introduction, and women notice it immediately. More than your haircut, your suit, or your voice, the way you smell can create a deep, lasting impression. It lingers long after you've left the room. Scent is tied to memory and emotion. A good fragrance, clean, masculine, and subtle, can make a woman feel safe, drawn in, and even nostalgic. On the other hand, too much cologne or poor hygiene can repel her instantly. No amount of charm can cover up a lack of cleanliness. Daily showering, wearing clean clothes, and using a well-chosen deodorant or fragrance, these are not extras, they are essentials. A simple, classic cologne, think woody, citrus, or leather notes, is often more attractive than trendy or overpowering scents, but more important than any cologne is your natural cleanliness. You may think it's unnoticed, but to her, it could be the thing she remembers most about you. So next time you step out, don't just look good. Smell like the kind of man she'll want to remember, not the one she'd rather forget. 5. Voice reveals inner strength. The tone and rhythm of your voice reveal more about you than you realize. A man may say the right words, but if they're spoken with hesitation, too softly, or with arrogance, the message gets lost. Women listen not just to your voice, but through it, a steady, calm, and confident voice, even if you're soft-spoken, conveys leadership, poise, and thoughtfulness. Are you speaking with presence? Do you pause instead of rambling? Are your words grounded in intention, not just noise? A man's voice, when controlled, is one of his greatest assets. It's the calm in chaos, the reassurance in conversation, the steadiness in uncertain moments. Think of great leaders. It's not just what they say, but how they say it, that earns trust. And when you speak like a man who knows who he is, women listen. 6. Manners define your character. Manners are not outdated, they're a quiet reflection of your values. In a world moving faster by the day, women still notice the man who slows down to say please, who holds the door, who stands when she enters, or who offers his seat without hesitation. These gestures aren't about being flashy, they're about respect. Not just for her, but for yourself, for others, and for tradition. A man with manners shows that he knows his place in the world, not in a submissive way, but as someone who honors dignity and order. Modern culture often laughs off chivalry, but deep down, it's still admired. Women pay attention to how you treat waitstaff, elders, even strangers. They're looking for consistency, for signs that you were raised with values and that you've chosen to keep them. So next time you think small manners don't matter, remember, they're often the first signs she sees that tell her who you really are. 7. Eyes show true intent. You can say all the right things, dress the part, and walk with confidence, but if your eyes are restless, evasive, or distracted, the mask falls off. Women notice eye contact immediately, and it speaks volumes about your confidence, honesty, and presence. Sincere eye contact builds connection. It tells her you're paying attention, that you're listening, not just waiting to speak. But it's not about staring. Too much eye contact can feel invasive. It's about balance, looking her in the eye with calm interest, then occasionally breaking it to reflect or listen. Avoiding eye contact, especially during key parts of a conversation, signals nervousness or disinterest. Especially when she's speaking, or when you're saying something you mean. In a world full of distractions, a man who can hold her gaze, calmly and respectfully, becomes someone worth remembering. 8. Actions reveal true nature. Talk is cheap, and women know it. While many men focus on what to say to impress, women watch how you act when no one's looking. Your behavior in the everyday moments tells her more about your true character than any carefully crafted line ever will. Do you help someone in need without being asked? Do you stay calm when others lose their temper? Are you kind to people who can do nothing for you? These are the things she notices, often silently. And they carry more weight than you think. You don't have to perform grand gestures. In fact, small, consistent acts, showing up on time, keeping your word, treating others with fairness, leave a far deeper impression. It's not about being a nice guy. It's about being a man of integrity. Women observe how you treat the waitress, the cashier, the janitor, not to test you, but to understand you. Are you only polite when it benefits you? Or is respect part of who you are? When your actions align with your values, you become predictable in the best way, trustworthy, steady, and sincere. That kind of man doesn't need to convince anyone of his worth. His actions speak clearly, and in the eyes of a good woman, there's nothing more attractive than that. Conclusion. These 8 details may seem small, but to a woman who's truly paying attention, they speak louder than words. In a world of surface-level charm, it's the man who carries himself with quiet confidence, discipline, and respect that stands out. If you found value in this, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Thanks for watching, and remember, it's not about perfection. It's about presence.